Hi, it's Emma Holmes from the Launch Queen, and I am talking today about being listalicious. It's a lovely word, listalicious. And it's all about you building a fantastic email list in your coaching business. And why is it important? It is important because a list is in your control. A list is something that you have control of. You can grow, you can nurture, you can make deeper relationships with the people who are on your list, because they've opted in to hear more about you. They're kind of the inner circle of your crowd. They're the people who have put a little bit of skin in the game. They've decided that they want to know more about what you do, and they've given their email address to you in exchange for finding out more. And I often say that you need to provide something amazing for people to be able to sign up to your list. And I've heard it called a sign-up bribe before, and I really don't like that. I like to think of it more as a present. You give people a present to sign up to your list, to give you their email address and to become part of your crowd. So why is it important to build this list? It's important to build this list because, first and foremost, social media is fickle. Okay, so I've seen people with thousands of people on their Facebook page lose that page overnight. They've gone to bed really happy and they've woke up the next morning and their Facebook page is gone. Completely gone. And Facebook don't need to give you any information about this. They don't need to give you any warning. It can just happen like that. And one particular lady I know, well, there's two ladies actually who live locally to me, and they've got local businesses, and they have thousands of fans on their Facebook page, and it disappeared overnight. Both of them believe that it was as a result of a complaint by somebody else. It was as a result of somebody else complaining about their Facebook page that they lost that page forever. Facebook didn't get their side of the story. That page just disappeared overnight. And those thousands and thousands of people who were interested in their business disappeared overnight. They didn't have a list. They didn't have a way of getting in touch with people and going, whoops, look, my Facebook page is gone. Please come back over and like my new page, because they couldn't get in touch with those people. You also know that Facebook doesn't show your post to every single person who likes your page, because it goes through the Facebook magic algorithm, which is a little bit like a little magic spell from Hogwarts, and they then decide how many people see each one of your Facebook posts. And it isn't always your whole crowd. That's just the way that it is. And increasingly so, as the algorithms get tweaked and changed, you've got to make sure that you put in the right content on Facebook in order to get any reach at all. If we look at somewhere like Twitter, Twitter is like the outside lane of the motorway. It speeds along at 100 miles an hour. And it's just going and going and going and going. And if you're not on Twitter at the time that somebody posts on Twitter, the likelihood is that you won't see that post. You won't see whatever it is that they're saying on Twitter. So having that email list allows you to drop into people's email boxes on a regular basis. It allows you to give them more value. It allows you to tell them about things you've got going on. It allows you to nurture that relationship, to provide really good, honest advice and help and assistance to the inner circle element of your audience, those people that have put that skin in the game and given you their email address. It allows you to form deeper relationships with them, and also ultimately to put your sales messages in front of them. And my list, to me, is one of the most precious things in my business, because I am really, really, really protective of my list. I nurture my list. I think about my list every single day, because everything that I do is in relation to looking after my audience. It's in relation to providing more value and to build my email list, because that's what's important in your business. So how do you go about building this email list? Like I said, it's not about sign-up bribes. I don't like the thought of you saying that you're going to bribe someone to be part of your crowd, to bribe someone to be on your list. I like to think of it as a present. You're going to give somebody a sign-up present, a little prezzy for being part of your crowd. And there's lots of ways that you can do this. And I'm going to go through 10 ways now that you can put something together that would provide you with a sign-up present for your crowd. So let's have a look. I've got the list here, just in case I forget anything. So we've got cheat sheets, and I love a cheat sheet. I love a small document that gives lots of information that helps people to to combat a particular issue. So whatever is your zone of genius, then you can have a cheat sheet about a specific thing within that zone of genius that you can provide to your audience to give them something in exchange for their email address. Checklist. Everybody loves a checklist. Everybody loves to go through and tick off what they've done and what they haven't done so that they know that they're getting through things, they're doing things right, they're going through in a logical order, and people love a checklist. Or a flow chart. Another way of helping guide people through the steps of something is a flow chart, and that usually goes down really well because, again, people like to see progression. People like to see the way from where they are now to where they want to be. Whether it's in, you know, a niche subject within your niche, or whether it's a broad subject, but something to help them flow through it. Ebooks. I've always got my 50k launch blueprint available on my website, www.the-launch-queen.com, where you'll find my 50k launch blueprint is always available there. That is my steadfast, evergreen document ebook that's always there, always available. And you write it once and it's there. It's something that you've done and that you can keep giving people as value for becoming part of your list. A crib sheet, so you know, some real sort of bullet points of what they need to do and what they need to think about. Fantastic. An audio, so whether that be a podcast or whether that be an MP3 that you've recorded your voice talking about your specialist subject, your mastermind specialist subject, your zone of genius, something that your crowd would be interested in, that they would sign up in return for. A video, so it might be a masterclass, it might be a little video of you talking through how to do something. There's lots of different ways that you can use video in your business. And by the way, video is amazing at the moment, because not only is YouTube the second highest used search engine, only behind Google, but also Facebook are giving massive reach to videos on Facebook. Questionnaires. People like a questionnaire. People like to see what they are, or you know, particularly if you've got a questionnaire that takes people through and gives them a what they are at the end, then people love them. People really love them. Surveys. So you could ask your crowd for more information about them to help you to develop your business, but also to capture their email address. Competitions. But make sure if you're going to run those over on social media that you abide by Facebook's competition rules particularly. And they are some really easy to put together documents and videos and audios that you can use to help your crowd to sign up with you, to give your email address, give their email address over, and to become a little bit more involved in your crowd, to take that relationship a little bit further. So if you're freaking out now about the fact that you're going to have to give away your zone of genius for free, then stop. Just stop. Because it is so important that you give away lots and lots of helpful advice and information for free to your crowd in exchange for them becoming part of your crowd in a bigger way, essentially. And I've got a little quote in here for you from Daniel Priestley, and from his fantastic new book, Oversubscribed. And I love Daniel Priestley's books, they're really great. But this one is, there is no scarcity in the world for people who share abundantly. And I think that one is so true. But on the same scheme, you must ensure that you have boundaries in this abundant sharing of information. Because I've had a little incident recently where somebody has asked me to spend some time with them for free on a one-to-one basis to show them something that I teach my launchettes, I teach my clients this. And I was very polite and I went back to them and said, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to do that because I thought it was unfair on my launchettes who paid me money for that sort of information, and that I was prepared to help them in other ways, but I couldn't spend one-to-one time doing that. I had a personal and business boundary in relation to that, but they kept going and they kept trying to pressure me into doing it. But that is my boundary. You know, if I choose to help people on a one-to-one basis, then that is out of choice. I always over-deliver with my crowd, and I have got stacks of free information available, from my podcast to my blogs to my YouTube channel, my Facebook page. There's always lots of freebies available on my website. I'm always over delivering within my programs and helping my launchettes in a big way to achieve their goals. So I have a personal boundary there that says that in relation to free things, then I don't do things on a one-to-one basis for free unless I offer. It's an offer basis. If it's somebody that I have worked with, who I know, who I have a relationship with, I've grown a relationship with, that I know is part of my tribe, then usually I will say yes. But if somebody just flies in out of the blue asking for something for free, then I often say no, because I've got to be respectful of my business boundaries, but I've also got to be respectful of my clients and make sure that I'm not giving away things that they're paying for, and part of, a big part of the thing that they're paying for. So that's a little bit about why you need to have a bit of a boundary in that abundant generosity of free things. But don't be frightened. Don't be frightened of giving things away for free. Don't be frightened, because what it does is it lets people have a taste. It lets people have a try before they buy. It lets people see how you work. It lets people get to know you a little bit better. It enhances the know, like, and trust factor in your marketing, so that people get to know whether or not you're a good fit for them, because you're not going to be a good fit for everybody, and that's okay. That's fine. You are going to be a good fit for the people who are part of your crowd, the people who love what you do. And I know that I'm a good fit for my launchettes. I know who my perfect clients are, and I know who I'm marketing to. So I don't fear giving to them abundantly lots of help and advice and information. Some of them will never, ever, ever buy from me, and that is fine. That's cool. But some of them will get my free things. They'll have a relationship with me. They'll watch me on social media. They'll interact with me. And then ultimately they'll become launchettes. They'll become part of my launchette brigade. And that is really, really great. It's really, really great to hear that I've helped somebody with some of my free things, and that they've enjoyed them, and that it's helped them to move forward in their business. And that's all I can ever ask for. So I want you to start to think about how you can become Listalicious in your coaching business. Bye for now.